Coming up on our program today, Aspen Avionics has serious news about new permissions that expand the reach of their PFDs. Also, it's here. The 5-seat Aero Diesel DA50 RG flew all the way here from Europe. And the aviation world safety company, Aviation Safety Resources, is growing. Those stories and more are coming up on the special edition of Airborne Unlimited. Welcome to the special edition of Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Kimberly Kay. We are right here at AirVenture 2021 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Aspen Avionics has announced programs that will allow you to dump your old AI and clean out your cockpit.
Hi, we're here with John Uczekaj of Aspen Avionics. So my family has an Aspen, but we've got the whole steam-powered backup everything, and now you're telling me that I need an upgrade. Is that the case? So tell me what's new with this new Pro Max.
Well, thank you. We obviously love you to upgrade your airplane whenever we can, but the Pro Max is now certified for without a backup, and that creates a unique opportunity for aircraft owners to remove the vacuum pumps and provide a more streamlined cockpit in that environment. And it's quite a big innovation now in terms of the ability to have a cockpit, a cleaner cockpit, and a cleaner training in terms of partial panel failures and things that we've all been trained to do for many years. The Pro Max provides a lot of capability into that cockpit as for quite a while, just the glass cockpit alone, but synthetic brings the synthetic vision, brings optional angle of attack to it, and eventually the ability to integrate with any kind of autopilot that you might have.
Now you mentioned the autopilot integration. Is there a system that you have in place for that?
We announced the integration with the Genesis 3100 autopilot, which we think is a fabulous autopilot. It brings a lot of safety enhancing features to it. It brings digital technology into the autopilot world. And so we announced today that the Pro Max provides interface with that autopilot that allows you to control the autopilot from the display without having to divert your attention away from your primary instruments to an autopilot panel.
So you're really selling it that I do need to do an upgrade. When would the timeline be for that? When will this be on the market?
So the Pro Max is available today, and the integration is available today. Genesis announced the STCs for over 200 aircraft, and that really opened it up the thing. Our software has been compatible with the 3100 since really the beginning of the year. And now that Genesis has finished their STCs and autopilot, that's available now.
Possibly one of Oshkosh's most popular planes, the Diamond DA50 RG, is drawing the crowds.
We expect this aircraft to be a huge hit on this market. This one in particular has had a long voyage behind it already. It came over the Atlantic to make it here for Oshkosh. We're excited to have it here. You can see that people are loving the aircraft. There's a lineup to get in all day long. This aircraft in particular, we've been highly anticipating its arrival. It's here, you're right. I think it's going to be the star of the show.
Talk to us about some of the primary features of this airplane, especially what makes it different from most of what we've seen in the high-performance market. Obviously, up front is a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. So up front, you've got the Continental CD300, 300 horsepower V6 engine. It roars at you. It's jet fuel powered, so it sticks with our concept of developing that jet fuel line. She's not all that thirsty. She's around 16 to 18 gallons, depending on how you set the power. She just sips away and keeps going.
And fuel capacity and range?
So range, you're looking about 700 miles to 750, depending on how you set it.
What's the availability program going to be for North America for the next year or so?
Yeah, so the aircraft is still undergoing FAA validation. We applied for it. We're waiting for that to happen, and we expect that to be received sometime mid-next year. Once that's received, we've already got 10 slots available for next year's deliveries, and then we expect to grow from there.
I got to ask, how much?
It is $1.15 base price.
Aviation Safety Resources talks about their airplane partnerships and acquiring strong parachutes and how Oshkosh has been treating them so far.
Larry Williams, second day of Oshkosh. First day was quite the barn burner. A lot of people coming in, a lot of excitement. As I understand it, you guys are standing room only?
Yeah, we had a terrific day yesterday. A lot of booth traffic. We sold quite a number of parachutes yesterday, which is very exciting for us. And we're just thrilled to be here and see the return of this after having missed last year.
If you had to really quantify what is exciting about ASR right now, as if nothing else was. What is the real progress factor right now that's driving ASR?
So the real progress factor for us is the fact that we focused very heavily on making sure that we could develop this next generation of recovery systems. We originally started out looking at the vertical takeoff and landing market, and through the testing and development, what we realized was there was an opportunity to make significant developments over the existing products that are out there today, namely reducing weight, reducing cost, but most importantly, we've developed a parachute canopy, it's never been done before, that will open about 40% faster than any competitive products that are out there today.
The Strong acquisition was something that left most of the industry agog because they really, first of all, out of right field wasn't expected, and well, what are they going to do with that? Aren't they airplane parachute people?
Yeah, so for us, it adds the capability to sew and produce our own canopies, so that's important, but it's beyond that. We wanted to refresh the Strong product line, which has a terrific legacy, terrific market that's out there, just needed kind of an injection of newness into what we're trying to do. And frankly, we've been able to expand our operation. We're doubling the size of our production facilities in Orlando.
And finally, what areas should we be looking at for your future?
So we're going to continue working in the vertical takeoff and landing market, and that creates opportunities for lower opening canopies as an example. So we're very focused on that. And now that we've established a defense arm, we're going to be doing quite a bit of defense business.
Larry Williams of Aviation Safety Resources. Appreciate talking to you on Oshkosh Day 2.
That's outstanding. Thank you very much.
Coming up after the break, we have the latest news on WACO and, of course, their WACO Kitchen.
Introducing the new ELT 345 from Artex. This emergency locator transmitter, or ELT, boasts an industry-low price while providing the same quality and performance on which the Artex brand was built. GPS data is embedded within the first emergency transmission and provides search and rescue personnel with the aircraft location within 100 meters in less than a minute. Take to the skies knowing you have the highest performing and reliable equipment on board. View our selection of ELTs and safety products at www.artex.com. Artex, your best last chance.
Aviation Safety Resources is disrupting the market for aircraft emergency parachute recovery systems. ASR systems are smaller, lighter weight, and offer longer repack cycles than similar products available in the current market. ASR has a recovery system available for every type of aircraft: sport, experimental, light sport, general aviation, urban air mobility, vertical takeoff and landing, electric propulsion, and unmanned aerial systems. Find the right product for your aircraft at aviationsafetyresources.com.
Welcome back. If you see anything cool happening at AirVenture 2021, make sure to use the hashtag you see on your screen. WACO Aircraft talks about the future of their biplane business as well as WACO Kitchen.
So what did WACO Aircraft bring to the show this year?
This year we have two Great Lakes, the aerobatic biplane. We have one WACO YMF-5 Super, and we have one WACO amphibious YMF-5.
Sounds great. I'm excited to see them all. How's production going this year?
Production has been fantastic. We have so many sales orders. We're going to deliver 8 airplanes this year, which is probably a record for the organization. I'm not quite sure, but the average in the past was about 4 to 5 airplanes per year, and we're going to double that this year.
So if I wanted to get my hands on a Great Lakes, which I do, how would I go about getting that? When would the next time be that I could get one of those planes?
We actually have 2 slots left as of right now. That's probably going to change by the end of this week, but we have 2 slots remaining for 2022.
So with all the increased production this year, did you have other expansions in the facility?
Yes, we did. We finally completed our expansion project, which quadrupled our square footage, and we've also quadrupled our workforce as well.
What does that mean? How many employees do you have now?
Over 90 employees, and 2 years ago we had just 22.
So I still have not had a chance to check out WACO Kitchen, despite the fact that the tacos look super good. And
the tacos are amazing.
I mean, you have to say WACO Taco because it sounds fun, right? But where is that? How's the restaurant going? Are there any changes coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So the restaurant's been going absolutely fantastic. It's located on the second floor of our admin office building at our factory in Battle Creek, Michigan. And it overlooks the production facility as well as our Centennial Part 145 division. So you can get to see biplanes being worked on, biplanes being built brand new. You can watch them flying through the open accordion windows that open up over the runway while enjoying a WACO taco.
Are there any specialties at the WACO Kitchen?
The main specialty is the WACO taco. And of course it had to be named the WACO taco just so people start pronouncing our name correctly. We are not WACO, we are WACO.
And you heard it here. Thank you, Alex.
Despite being in the middle of flight testing, Cessna brought their new Sky Courier to Oshkosh, of course, to show off.
Well, just the exciting news is its show debut of the Cessna Sky Courier. It's just an impressive aircraft, and the partnership we had with FedEx when we designed this aircraft. FedEx has an order of 50 plus an order for 50 options. Our relationship goes back to the early 80s, and we've just embraced that over the years and just have them at the very beginning of this program give us that customer input. It's just been invaluable to the team and just truly having their fingerprints all over this design. The capabilities are really on the cargo variant. It can hold 3 LD3 shipping containers, which basically translates to about 6,000 pounds of payload capability. The game changer is that they don't have to break down the shipping containers that they have now. They can just take the shipping containers from one of their larger aircraft directly onto the Sky Courier. It has short field capability, it's rugged, it has the capability of 200 knots, between 200 nautical miles and 900 nautical miles, depending on the weight you have. Plus, we are certifying a passenger variant, which can hold 19 passengers. We're in the middle of certification right now, and they'll take delivery after we certify, which is in the near term. Today's just exciting to actually have the Sky Courier here. Also, just in the middle of our flight test program, was able to come up here for a day and a half, show everybody at the show how impressive this aircraft is. And like I pointed out earlier, just to see the rugged gear, the very large cargo doors, single point refueling, Garmin G1000 NXI up front, a very large flight deck, and then as we open up the cargo door, how large it is inside. So it's just exciting to just be here with the airplane.
It was an exciting day for Able Flight as they pinned wings on 6 new aviators. We spoke to one of them.
I got injured June 6, 2016. I got hit by a 19-year-old person who blew a stop sign, was suffering with a T5 vertebrae fracture. I woke up like a few days later, not remember being on the bike. So when I woke up, it was just like, what am I doing here? And I couldn't talk because I had the trach. I couldn't move because my arms were bound down. So it's like I just woke up in this like hospital and blinking and all these nurses and doctors around me like checking machines. And I couldn't talk to nobody. So it's like me one moment being on my feet, one moment it's like, oh, you can't walk, can't do nothing. From that time then to now, I never thought I'd be where I'm at now. Because in the hospital, it was always like the doubts of, oh, we're not sure if you ever walk again. Like, we're not sure if you ever use your hands. And then to my family, they told them they wouldn't even sure I'll wake up out of the medical induced coma. So it's like, he might not even wake up. So it's like, you just gotta be hopeful. So to say now from then to 2 years later, that I'm a licensed light sport pilot, like that's beyond my wildest dreams. Because from young, my dream was always to be a pilot. But I always told myself from watching Top Gun as a kid, I was like, I want to be a fighter pilot, I want to be a pilot. And the transition through that, to have my injury where I definitely thought I would never be able to be a pilot, to now sit here in front of you with my wings on my chest and a licensed pilot, like it's amazing.
Coming up after the break, we have part 2 of our interview series with none other than EAA boss Jack Pelton.
The Skyreach Bushcat. It's everything a light sport airplane was meant to be, and more. 100 horses in the nose, a slow stall speed, more than 600 pounds of useful load, and it is built for fun. The Bushcat can take you where you always wanted to go, to the mountains, to the valleys, and everything in between. So your options for adventure are wide open.
Pilot Communications USA is proud to introduce our latest headsets, the Carbon A1 Active Noise Reduction and the Carbon P1 Passive Headset. Carbon fiber makes our headsets 30% lighter than others, which significantly reduces pilot fatigue. Our BlueLink hand control unit allows you to connect 2 devices at the same time, and the record out capability can send audio to an onboard camera or digital recorder. Get the headset that's so light you may forget you're wearing one at pilot-usa.com.
Affordable and economical, Pipistrel is proud to present the Alpha Trainer. The aircraft can use as little as 2.5 gallons per hour in a flight school setting, with multiple students and instructors each day. This means that 13.2 gallons of fuel can effectively give you as much as 5 hours of endurance. Learn more about what the Pipistrel Alpha Trainer can do for you at pipistrel-usa.com.
Welcome back. In part 2 of our interview series, we speak to EAA boss Jack Pelton about what he did to keep the doors open and how he prepared for AirVenture 2021.
Businesses, and aviation in particular, over the last year and a half or so, have had an extraordinary set of circumstances foisted upon them. EAA is obviously no exception to the rule. How has EAA survived so far what's left of the pandemic?
Well, what we did was, being that we are a membership organization, we have an obligation to deliver to our members. We just found new ways to do it. So we didn't slow down, we didn't back off. We continued to publish our magazines, our newsletters, our chapter activities. We doubled down on new ways of providing it. So we went, virtual or online, and we created a lot more webinars. We did the virtual AirVenture Week, the virtual Home Builders Week. We stayed in contact with our members and continued to provide the resources they need, which we found out very quickly that as they're staying at home, they're building airplanes, they're still flying, they're doing upgrades. So there was a lot of help that they continued to need. I was thrilled with our staff and our team. I mean, you could say we pivoted, but we really delivered the same stuff, but just found different ways to do it. And it was very rewarding. And the numbers of people's participation in those new mediums was unbelievable. It was something we were going to keep going. This is now a permanent change for us. We learned a lot, and I think we have better ways of delivering, which is good news.
Perfect segue into my next question. How will this last year and a half change EAA?
It's going to be continuous. We're going to take the things we did, and I view it from the business world I came from, as it's continuous improvement. We found that during this period of time, it caused us to rethink a lot of our processes, a lot of things we do, including AirVenture, and those are going to be permanent changes that we had time to think through. The express arrival for AirVenture. We're mailing wristbands out in advance. We're mailing parking out in advance. We're facilitating an easier experience when you get here to get into the grounds. Little things like that were a byproduct of we just didn't want to have people congregating at the gate. And 6 months ago, we were worried about if we can have the event and thinking separation is good. We're trying to follow all the best practices, and these things came out of that. And these are going to be permanent changes. We changed the parking as far as the flow into the lots and facilitated faster arrivals into the parking through the gate. Camping, we did the same thing. People are thrilled that they can, after a long drive from wherever they came from, they don't have to sit in a long line behind campers waiting to get to their spot to get set up and eat and shower. They can come right on in because they have their advanced arrival credentials. So a lot of those things will be permanent changes. We're going to focus a lot more on our delivery of online content. We've actually, one of the things that stopped during it is we couldn't have sport air workshops. Can't get people together to come weld and learn to do fabric. So we use that time to put it all, take the actual event, video it, put it in a delivery mechanism that you would like for online colleges, but then provide a kit of all the components you need to actually do the workshop. So you can buy the course and buy the kit. First course we have out there today is our electrical course, and it comes with all the tools and things that you need to perform the lessons that you'll learn online. That's going to be permanent, and we think we're going to be able to reach more people as a result, because we only would hold them 4 times a year at various locations. Now you can have them every day in your living room, wherever you live. So a lot of interesting things like that I'm very proud of, that I think we're kind of upping the game as to what our value proposition to our members is.
Well, that does it for our show today. I'm your host, Kimberly Kay. Make sure to follow all our social media sites at the websites you see on your screen right here. Also, don't forget, tune in tomorrow to see everything newsworthy that's happening at AirVenture 2021.